My beloved sisters and brothers in spirit, lean in closer. Lend me your hearts, and stretch your ears like taut strings tuned to the melody of hope. For today, I am not speaking with the voice of the crowds, nor repeating the echo of man's chatter. No, my voice carries something breathed from the heights of eternity. The message I hold is not born of imagination, but of revelation. It was not whispered in secret corners of men's minds, but carried by the wind of the Spirit himself. Open your soul, child of God, wide and willing like a morning lily, unfolding her petals to receive the first kiss of dew. Because heaven has spoken, and the word is radiant with fire and fragrance. And this is the whisper I must deliver to you. August 18, 2025. Will not be a normal day. Let this settle into your heart like golden oil dripping into an empty vessel. Let it ring like a bell in your spirit, resonating with the truth that heaven itself has chosen this moment in time. Come closer now. Draw near with your trembling heart, for this is not a message to be heard casually. It is not the kind of thing you overhear while scrolling, nor a passing note on the margins of life. This is holy ground, and you must enter with bare feet and a bowed soul. Let the noise of the world fade behind you, slipping away like shadows retreating from the first blush of sunrise. Let the chatter of doubt fall silent, for there is something stirring in the unseen. The Spirit of God is moving beneath the surface of time, shaping, shifting, preparing, and your spirit must be awake, for it is to you that this whisper is directed. Listen, well, the world will call it just another Monday, but the heavens know better. August 18th has been marked, sealed, and highlighted in eternity's calendar. It is not like the others. It has been dipped in divine ink, carved in the palm of the Almighty. And when God sets his seal on a day, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Do not be deceived by the appearance of the morning. The sun may rise with the same golden rays it always casts. The birds may sing the same notes they sang yesterday. The clock will tick forward with no tremble, and the streets will stir with their usual rhythm. But child, do not let your eyes fool you, for heaven often wraps its greatest works in garments of simplicity. Just as the sea can appear calm while concealing the roar of a storm beneath, so too will August 18th carry beneath its surface the trembling pulse of God's own hand. You will not always see the miracle before it bursts forth. You may not hear the thunder before the rain falls. But trust me when I tell you, something mighty is stirring, and it is for you. This is a day when the veil between earth and eternity will grow thin, like silk stretched to transparency. Heaven will lean close, its breath warm upon the soil of your life. And you must be ready to hear it not as a shout, not as a spectacle, but as a whisper wrapped in thunder. A whisper that moves mountains without raising its voice. So, I tell you now, beloved, prepare the ear of your soul. Tune it not to the clamor of the crowd, but to the quiet of the Spirit. The miracle of this day will not arrive with fanfare. No trumpet may sound in your living room. No angel may appear at the foot of your bed, but do not dismiss the sacred simply because it comes in silence. For often the quietest mornings carry the loudest miracles. Perhaps it will be a sudden peace washing over your weary heart like a gentle tide. Perhaps it will be a phone call carrying the news you prayed for in secret. Perhaps it will be the lifting of a burden you thought you'd carry forever. However it arrives, do not underestimate it. The whisper of heaven is never small, it is simply humble, clothed in grace rather than grandeur. Child, hear me well. August 18th, 2025. Is not a normal day because God has called it otherwise. And when God names a thing, it becomes what he has spoken. August 18th is not just another page on the calendar. It is not ink on paper, not the casual flip of a date from one square to the next. No, my beloved, it is a sacred note in God's eternal symphonia, chord struck by his own hand, reverberating through time with holy resonance. This is not a Monday clothed in the dull garments of the mundane. It is not the day the world calls ordinary, when work resumes, when routines recycle themselves, when the pace of life trudges on. Oh no, this day has been dipped in divine ink, written in the scrolls of eternity before the foundations of the earth were laid. Imagine it, the palm of heaven itself carved with this date, engraved by the Eternal One. The Almighty has spoken it aloud, and when his voice calls a day holy, nothing in creation can strip it of its glory. You must not think of it lightly. You must not glance at the morning of August 18th as though it were common, for when the king marks a day, the entire kingdom shifts to honor his decree. Yes, the day may rise like any other. The sun may stretch its golden arms across the horizon, just as it has for thousands of years. The birds will compose their hymns at dawn, and the breeze may carry the familiar sense of morning. People will stir, buses will run, shops will open, and laughter or sorrow may spill from the windows of homes. On the surface, all will appear as it has before. But child, do not be deceived by appearances. For just as the sea can look still while hiding within it the roar of unseen storms, so too does August 18th conceal within its frame the trembling power of the divine. Beneath its ordinary skin beats an extraordinary heart. Heaven pulses in it. Angels await its unfolding. Do not be fooled by silence. For silence does not mean absence, and quiet does not mean inactivity. The soil makes no sound as roots push through it, yet growth is happening in secret. The womb gives no announcement as life takes form, yet a miracle is being knit in hidden chambers. In the same way, August 18 carries weight unseen, significance unheard. The Spirit of God is already moving toward that moment, aligning circumstances, softening hearts, shifting doors, and weaving answers you have long prayed for. Often the quietest mornings carry the loudest miracles. The hand of God rarely enters with fanfare. More often, he arrives cloaked in simplicity, disguised as normalcy. The day when Sarah laughed at her tent door looked like any other morning. The night when Paul and Silas sang in the prison seemed like any other midnight, but what unfolded was beyond the imagination of men. Because God was in the details, so it shall be with August 18th. Do not miss the sacred appointment by rushing through it as though it were ordinary. Approach it with reverence. Let your spirit rise in expectation. Treat it not as a date you are passing through, but as a moment you are destined to meet. Think of it as heaven's appointment book, and your name is written in bold letters upon this line. You have been scheduled for encounter, for breakthrough, for visitation. This day has been crafted, anointed, and set apart. Beloved, hear this and hold it close. The days may look the same to human eyes, but heaven knows which days are saturated with purpose. August 18th is one of them. So as it approaches, lift your head, awaken your heart. Let expectancy become your garment, and faith your fragrance. Do not be distracted by the mundane flow of life, because hidden in this day is divine orchestration. When you step into August 18th, walk softly, for you tread on holy ground. And may your spirit be alert enough to catch the whisper, to sense the shift, to recognize the miracle wrapped in silence. For this is not a day among days. This is the sacred appointment. Too many walk through life believing that every sunrise is simply a repeat of the one before. They rise, they work, they eat, they rest, trapped in a cycle of sameness, blind to the truth that eternity is not monotonous but miraculous. But child, when God places his hand upon a day, it ceases to be ordinary. That day becomes a sanctuary, a place where earth kisses heaven and the ground beneath your feet becomes holy. And you, beloved, will walk through such a day. You will not walk in routine, but in revelation. You will not stumble through it as if it were another weary step on a tired road. No, you will move with the awareness that the Eternal has marked this day for you. Hear me now. August 18th, 2025 is not normal because God has called it otherwise. Understand this truth. When God names a thing, it becomes what he declares. When he said, "Let there be light," the void could not resist. When he spoke over Sarah's barren womb, laughter was born. When Jesus said, "Lazarus, come forth," the grave had to release its grip. So it is with time. When the Almighty declares a day set apart, the day itself shifts, trembling beneath his decree. This is not coincidence, child, it is confirmation. Your prayers, your tears, your waiting have not been forgotten. Heaven has not remained silent to your cries. You thought delays meant denial, but in truth they were divine preparation. God has been bending the bow, drawing it back, waiting for the precise moment to release his arrow. And now, the eternal clock has pointed directly to August 18th. See it in your spirit, a golden arrow, radiant with the fire of heaven, strung tight upon the bow of destiny. It has been aimed carefully, held steadily, drawn fully back through seasons of waiting. And on this day, it shall be released. When it strikes, something will break. But here it will not be a breaking unto pain, but a breaking unto power. Chains will shatter, burdens will crack, walls will fall. This is not destruction, it is deliverance. What once hemmed you in will crumble, and the wide space of freedom will open before you. Perhaps it is the chain of fear that will finally snap. Perhaps the prison of lack will be torn open. Perhaps the silence over your prayers will thunder into answer. Whatever it is, know this. The breaking is holy. The breaking is necessary. The breaking is beautiful. Do not despise it, for every miracle carries within it the sound of something breaking. Bread had to break before it fed the multitude. The alabaster jar had to break before the fragrance filled the room. The body of Jesus had to break before resurrection life poured out upon the world. So when August 18th arrives and something in your life feels like it is cracking open, do not fear. It is not death, it is birth. It is not loss, it is release. The arrow of God's promise is landing, and it will strike with precision. Exactly where it was meant to. Beloved, can you feel it already? The weight of this day in your spirit. It is highlighted in gold in the eternal calendar. The ink of heaven does not fade, and the decree of the Almighty does not fail. You have an appointment with breakthrough, with revelation, with a shift that only God could orchestrate. So lift your eyes. Walk into that day with holy expectation. Let faith rise like incense from your lips. Do not approach it in weariness, but in wonder, for the ground is radiant with His glory. August 18th is not just a date, it is destiny. And when the arrow of the eternal is released, your life will not remain the same. This is the day highlighted in gold. Child of God, prepare your heart, for I must tell you this. Do not look only for explosions in the sky. Do not expect the miracle to always come clothed in thunder, lightning, and spectacle. For while heaven can shake the earth with mighty wonders, more often, the fingerprints of God are left in the quiet places. Miracles are not always loud. Sometimes they come wrapped in silence, tender as the morning dew, unnoticed by those who rush but radiant to those who pause. If you expect only the dramatic, you may miss the divine. You may not see an angel standing at your bedside that morning with wings blazing like fire. You may not awaken to the sound of heaven's trumpet breaking the dawn. But do not, beloved, measure the miracle by the volume of its arrival. For the kingdom of God is often like yeast hidden in dozimol, unseen, but unstoppable. It moves quietly until suddenly the whole loaf rises. Do not miss the miracle just because it walks in barefoot. It may not announce itself with trumpets. It may not parade itself in grandeur. But it will carry the full weight of heaven's authority. What God ordains does not need noise to prove its power. Consider Elijah. He expected God in the wind, in the earthquake, in the fire. Yet the Lord chose to come in the gentle whisper. That whisper carried more authority than all the trembling of the earth combined. So it shall be for you on this appointed day. It might be a phone call that changes everything, words spoken through human lips, but orchestrated by divine timing. It might be a doctor's report reversed, a diagnosis overturned, leaving even medical minds in awe. It might be a prodigal's footsteps returning home, the slam of the door replaced by the sound of reconciliation. It might be peace flooding into your soul where torment once lived, silence replacing chaos, calm rising where storms once reigned. Oh beloved, do not despise these subtle shifts. They are no less miraculous than seas parting or mountains moving. For the same hand that split the Red Sea also formed the delicate petals of a lily. Both are works of the Almighty, and both reveal His heart. And when God moves subtly, it is not because His power is diminished. It is because His wisdom is perfect. He knows the exact way your miracle must come, not only for your blessing but for His glory. Some victories require thunder. Others require whispers. Some doors are broken down. Others are quietly unlocked. It may be subtle, but it will be sovereign. The sovereignty of God is not shaken by silence. His authority is not proven by noise. When He wills a thing, creation bends, circumstances rearrange, hearts soften, reports change, chains dissolve. Whether through a storm or a sigh, His power is absolute. So do not wait for fireworks alone. Lift your eyes to see Him in the gentle turn of events, in the unnoticed details, in the timing that could only be divine. Miracles often slip past the hurried, but they always reveal themselves to the watchful. As you step into August 18th, attune your spirit like a harp to the slightest touch of His hand. Be alert not only to the grand but to the gentle. For what seems small may in truth be the seed of something eternal. Do not mistake silence for absence, nor subtlety for weakness. The King is still on the throne, and His decree over your life is unshakable. When the moment comes, you will know whether it arrives like a thunderclap or a whisper that it was God, and God alone. Beloved, remember this truth. Miracles may walk in barefoot, but they carry the crown of heaven. And on this day marked for you, whether subtle or spectacular, the sovereign hand of God will be revealed. Child, incline your heart and listen well. Miracles do not fall on unprepared soil. Rain is wasted on hardened ground, and seeds cannot bloom where weeds choke the root. In the same way, the blessings of God cannot rest fully where the heart is cluttered, distracted, or closed. August 18th is not a common day. It is a day of visitation. And visitation demands preparation. Do not think heaven will force itself into a soul that is locked by unbelief or sealed by pride. The Spirit of the Lord delights to dwell where he is welcomed, where the table has been set, where the heart has been swept clean for his arrival. Preparation is not about perfection. God does not require spotless performance. He asks for surrendered hearts. He is not calling you to wear the mask of holiness but to open the door of honesty. He does not demand that you become flawless before he comes. He asks that you become willing. Preparation is surrender. It is laying down the clutter of bitterness that has long poisoned your well. It is releasing the grip of unforgiveness, not because the wound was small, but because your God is greater. It is letting fear loosen its chains from your heart, trusting that perfect love casts out all fear. When you clear these out, you do not lose, you make room. You create space for his presence to rest, for his Spirit to breathe, for his miracle to manifest. Think of the upper room. Before the Spirit rushed in like a mighty wind, the disciples were together in unity, in prayer, in waiting. They were preparing their hearts, aligning themselves with expectation. And when the appointed day came, heaven had no hindrance. The fire fell, the wind roared. The world was changed, so it will be with you, child. If you prepare your heart, heaven will have no hindrance. Do not wait until August 18th to begin. Each morning leading up to that holy day, let your prayer be simple and true. Lord, make me ready. Say it when you wake. Whisper it when doubt creeps in. Declare it when distraction pulls at you. Let it be the cry that rises from your spirit, like incense. That cry, heaven cannot ignore. God does not turn away from the humble heart. He does not despise the broken prayer. When you ask him to make you ready, you are confessing your dependence, and dependence is the very soil where miracles grow. Beloved, preparation is not a heavy burden, it is a holy invitation. It is the Spirit whispering, clear the way. I am coming. So forgive quickly, worship freely, pray honestly, let gratitude flow. Sweep the room of your heart so that when the King enters, there is space for him to dwell. Consider Mary of Bethany. She prepared for Jesus by breaking her alabaster jar, pouring out her treasure upon his feet. She did not wait for the crowd's approval, she gave him her all in quiet devotion. That fragrance filled the house and rose to heaven. Such is the aroma of true preparation. Now, child of God, the call is upon you. Do not dismiss it. For when the day of visitation comes, the prepared will not just witness it, they will carry it. The oil in your lamp must be ready, for the bridegroom is near. This is the call. This is the moment. And your prayer does not need to be eloquent, only earnest. Lord, make me ready. Say it again, let it echo in your spirit. For that simple surrender is the key that unlocks heaven's door. And when August 18th arrives, your heart will not only see the miracle, it will hold it. There are days, child of God, that carry such holy weight that they do not simply pass by, they divide your life into before and after. These are not ordinary days. They are divine thresholds. You step through them, and nothing remains the same. August 18th, 2025 is such a day. It is not merely circled on the calendar of men, it is highlighted in the book of heaven. It is the day when something that was stuck will finally move. For too long, you have felt as if you were walking in circles, like Israel wandering in the wilderness. You prayed, you fasted, you cried, and still the ground beneath your feet felt dry. But hear the word of the Lord in this appointed day. The cycle breaks. The walls that held you in will crumble, and the hand of God will push you into forward motion. That which resisted you will no longer resist. That which opposed you will bow to the authority of Christ. Something broken will be mended. Your heart, long fractured by disappointment, will feel the healing balm of his presence. Relationships torn apart will find the thread of reconciliation. Dreams that seemed shattered beyond repair will be pieced back together by the master potter. And they will shine more beautifully for having been broken. For the one who makes all things new does not patch with weakness. He restores with strength. Generational chains will break. The curses that traveled through your bloodline, the cycles of lack, addiction, sickness, or despair will find their end in you. You will not pass them on to your children. You will not be the echo of your ancestors' pain, but the trumpet of their redemption. What plagued your family for decades will bow before the fire of God's presence. For the Lord says, this far and no farther. The line is drawn. The curse is broken. Long-awaited prayers will find their answers. The petitions that felt as though they were lost in the heavens will return to you like rain clouds, heavy with water. Some of those prayers you whispered with trembling lips. Prayers you have almost forgotten will burst forth in sudden manifestation. You will look back and say, "He heard me all along." Beloved, heaven never lost your request. The delay was not denial, it was preparation. And now, the answer comes. This is not just a date. This is not simply another sunrise and sunset. This is a turning point, a holy hinge in the door of your destiny. When you step across this day, you will not walk back into what you knew. You will walk into what was always promised. It is the turning of a page in your divine story. Think of Joseph. One day he was in prison, forgotten, overlooked. The next day he was standing before Pharaoh, crowned with authority. One day marked the shift. One day held the turning point. So shall it be with you. Think of Esther. One day she was hidden, uncertain of her place. The next day, she was interceding before the king, her boldness saving her people. A single day can rewrite history, so it will rewrite yours. Beloved, do not despise the waiting, for the turning point always comes suddenly. You may have endured years of pressing, but the breakthrough often arrives in a single breath. And August 18, 2025 will be that breath of God, exhaling life, breaking chains, and propelling you forward. Mark this truth. You will look back and say, "That was the day everything shifted." Beloved, mark it. Do not treat it casually. Do not allow it to slip through your fingers like another ordinary day. August 18, 2025 has been stamped with eternity's seal. It is not a suggestion, it is a summons. Heaven has called it holy, and your soul must honor it. This day will not simply pass, it will define. It will be the line drawn across your life, a threshold you step through, leaving behind the weight of yesterday and entering the brightness of what is yet to come. What was will no longer hold you. What will be will stretch its arms wide to embrace you. This day, beloved, is the hinge upon which your destiny swings open. Mark it, honor it, prepare for it, not with fear, but with expectancy. For expectancy is the language of faith. It is the whisper of a heart that says, "I believe my God will move." And indeed, when August 18th arrives, you will not simply watch God's hand, you will feel it. You will not simply hear His promise, you will walk in it. And afterward, when the story of your life is told, this day will shine like a jewel among the years. You will look back and say, "Everything changed not because I worked harder, not because I fought smarter, not because I climbed higher, but because God moved." Oh, how sweet those words will taste on your lips. For you will know, beyond all doubt, that what happened could not have been orchestrated by human effort. No strategy could have manufactured it. No plan could have achieved it. It will be the Lord's doing, and it will be marvelous in your eyes. And when the night of August 18th closes, when the sun has run its course and the stars are scattered like diamonds across the velvet sky, you will feel a holy hush descend upon your spirit. It will not be sorrow, it will be gratitude will rise like incense from the deepest places of your soul. Tears may trace your cheeks, but they will not be tears of despair. They will be tears of wonder. You will lift your eyes to the heavens, and your spirit will whisper with trembling joy, "Thank you, Lord. I will never forget this day." That prayer will not be mere words. It will be covenant. It will be the marking of a moment when eternity touched time, when God Himself bent low to visit His child. And in that whisper of thanksgiving, your heart will seal the memory forever. For what God does on August 18th will not fade with the morning. It will not dissolve when the calendar turns. It will be planted deep, a root of transformation that grows into fruit for years to come. Every victory, every blessing, every breakthrough that flows after will trace back to this moment, this divine appointment. So let your soul rest in confidence. Do not worry about how it will come to pass. Do not burden yourself with questions of when or where. Simply prepare, simply believe, simply wait with open hands. For when God marks a day, no power in heaven or earth can erase it. Beloved, treasure this promise. Hold it close as one holds a love letter pressed to the chest. Whisper it to your heart when doubt arises. Remind yourself when the waiting feels long. My turning point is written. My breakthrough is sealed. My God has appointed August 18th. When it comes, you will know. And when it passes, you will remember. And all your days after, you will declare with unshakable joy, "On that day, my God moved for me."